Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona in the PTO 2020 Championship. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Captiva Spine, John Hall Chevrolet, USA Triathlon, Foundation Risk Partners in the PTO, the Pro Triathletes Organization. Our next guest, Jackie Herring, joins us. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am wonderful. So take me back to getting into this crazy sport. Were you like a high school runner, cyclist, swimmer? What got you into this?
Well, I grew up a swimmer, and I think that kind of led me into curiosity with other sports. And I was a runner, but an injury-prone runner.
Really?
So,
what type of injury? Stress fracture type of thing?
Stress fracture. Yeah, shins. Yeah. And I think that was all in high school. I was growing quickly, and then, I headed to college, and though I was a faster runner, I swam because I didn't like to be injured.
Yeah.
And a couple years into college, I just started to dabble in the sprint tri business, and absolutely nothing serious.
Right. And was this in Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you, take the plunge and realize, I think I could be pretty good at this?
It was about 2008.
Okay.
I signed up for my first half Ironman en route to, doing an Ironman straight out of the gates because living in Madison, Wisconsin, it's
Ironman,
just so
Wisconsin.
exciting.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's the best, right? The whole city just shuts down for that race.
Yeah. So I certainly got the excitement of it. I caught the bug, and my training was absolutely terrible. But when you're, 23, whatever, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So I got right into Ironman and knew nothing about the sport and qualified for Kona that first time. And I was like, all right. Then I was in.
Right.
I was seriously hooked.
Yeah. And were you racing that first year in Kona as an age grouper?
Yeah, I did a couple years because I still had a job and I was not confident in my bike skills, especially. So I wanted to get myself squared away before I tried to race actual fast people.
And how'd that first year in Kona go?
Really well. I think I was maybe second in my age group.
Wow, so you were up on the big stage with us back in Kona?
Yeah, a couple times as the 2 years I raced as age grouper, I got to go up on stage, and so that's
the best.
That was a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah. When did you decide to go pro?
I think it was 2011.
Okay.
Yep.
And you've done 24 Ironman races? And
yeah.
So a lot of racing.
A lot of racing. I really love racing. Racing is my passion. And, like I said, I caught the Ironman bug pretty hard. So I just really liked that distance. I was consistent.
Yeah.
And I think racing that many Ironman, I never got as fast as I probably could have if I wouldn't have raced so many.
But you got to see parts of the world.
But I got to travel.
And that it's funny because I remember years ago interviewing Scott Finley. I was like, God, if you focus like Dave Scott did on just Ironman. And he goes, yeah, but think of all the experiences I missed.
Yeah.
I traveled all over the world and did these great races. And then for you, 2013, winning Ironman Wisconsin in your hometown.
Yeah.
That had to be so special.
Yeah, it was an extremely special time. I had just a rough, couple years in there with some different things going on in my life. And
life got in the way?
Yeah, life was happening, and being able to put together that race and win in my hometown was the best experience.
Right.
And part of me still gets a little sentimental when it's Ironman Wisconsin time, where I'm like, should I just do this race?
What the hell?
It's painful.
Well, what I love is when people, they love the sport, right? You're doing all that Ironman stuff, then you become a mom. Mm-hmm. Priorities, obviously, are Hunter and Skylar, born in Hunter in 2016 and Skylar born in 2018. So then you go, well, you know what? I've got time to do short, maybe Olympic. I can do 70.3.
Yeah.
Right? And still be a mom.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I had a big love for Ironman, but the amount of time and energy it takes, I just, I didn't want to be like a shell of myself and try and be a mom, and I just didn't find it possible. Some people can do it, and I don't think that it was within myself to do. So I switched to half, and it's been fun to try and find my speed on the run and
Yes.
and just get faster and stronger at the shorter stuff. It's been really nice.
You know, it's so funny. I remember in one of the Ironman shows, there was a mom who took her kid to soccer practice, and he's got her bike set up on the trainer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, listen, you have a priority.
Right.
When your kid's at soccer, be with your kid.
Yeah.
And go to 70.3. Go to a distance that makes it. So when you look at this, you're racing this weekend with the greatest athletes on the planet,
Yeah.
from ITU to 70.3 to full Ironman champions, Olympic champions,
Yeah.
and you get the opportunity to basically be in the World Series with them. How fun is that?
I love it. I think once you get yourself to a certain level, this racing the best in the world is pretty much the main goal.
Of course.
Every year, I've been focused on the half Ironman world champs, and
Yes.
and I'm so glad this year with everything going on that the PTO and Challenge Daytona were able to pull this together. It's
Right.
like absolutely amazing, the athletes that have showed up, and it's going to be so interesting racing some of these women that
You've never met,
we've
right?
never met, we've never raced. None of us longer course gals know how the dynamics of how the shorter course gals are going to
Right.
do it. And that's what's going to make it so interesting.
Well, and I think the big equalizer is a 20-meter draft rule, right?
Yes.
It's not like the ITU women can get out of the water and work together and
Yeah.
put a big gap on people who might be swimming a little slower than they are.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, everybody is going to have to buck. It's a circle.
Yeah.
Half of it, you're going to be in a headwind, and half
Yeah.
of it, you're going to be a tailwind. And you got to be in the aero position for basically 50 miles.
Yes.
And then get off and run 11. So it's pretty brutal. I like the fact that in 2019 you had a great year, right? You 3-time 70.3 champion, Steelhead, Traverse City, Waco, and second American at 70.3 Worlds.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So you're
pretty-
getting better.
Yeah, I figured out how to run fast, which
Yes.
is clutch. And I also really have been working on just getting my bike to where it needs to be to
Right.
race with these gals. And I've always been a fine swimmer. I mean, I swam a couple years in college, but
Right.
certainly it's the thing that falls by the wayside in training. So
Sure.
I've been also working on that. And what gives me confidence a bit in this race is the races that I've had success, like those few that I won, are all relatively flatter
Right.
easy bike courses. So kind of like this, where head down, grind it out,
Go
just
for it.
ride as hard as you can.
See what happens.
And I kind of like that.
Have you been on the course yet? On the bike
Yes,
course?
it was way cooler than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, right? It's sort of
Yeah.
like you go, oh, there's like, but it's fun.
It's awesome. Yeah, I thought I would get bored pretty quickly, and maybe I would if I rode, a couple hours easy, but I can tell that within a race it's going to be
Oh.
really, really exciting.
Yeah, you can have all these other women out. It's not
Yeah.
there's a 4 mile or so loop. You can have people all over the place.
Yeah, 2.5 miles.
2 mile loop. That's right. 2.5
Yeah.
mile loop at 4K. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's
really
gonna be
really
great.
fun. And for next year, what are you thinking? If races come back?
Well, I'm going to keep on my 70.3 escapades.
Yeah.
Keep traveling, and I mean, I love racing in Mexico. I do mostly US and Mexico just to keep the travel times
Yes.
a little shorter. I usually do go solo to races, kind of just, we treat this
It's like
as
mom's on a
it's
business
my
trip.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mom's on
So
a
I go
business
for the
trip as well.
weekend,
Yeah.
and our family trips are separate from this, and it works out nice that way.
That's great. Is your oldest? Is Hunter been taking you to school for show and tell yet? Here's my mom who does this triathlon stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. I show up to pick him up usually in workout clothes, so they must know something's going on there. I'm
I
not
love
sure.
it. Jackie, have fun this weekend.
Yeah,
You're going to
thanks.
have the best time
Yeah.
out there. A mother of two, still kicking butt and taking names and getting fat. I always tell people this sport is the fountain of youth. There's no reason you can't get faster as we age.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely, mid-30s. Feel like I'm in my prime now, although I felt like I was in my prime in my 20s. I didn't even know.
Now you know.
So that's inspiring for younger athletes, is
love
it
it.
really does get better.
Jackie Herring has been our guest. Again, Breakfast with Bob, Challenge Daytona PTO 2020 Championship. Hold on, everyone. We will be right back.